All right, I got probably about 10 minutes left on my phone, meaning my battery's gonna die in 10 minutes. So figured I'd get on here, come live, and talk about a few things that we're doing. So first, I'm gonna talk about how I gained 50 pounds back in 6 months, but and how it's rough out in these streets, right? So let me quickly introduce myself. I'm Ileka Falette, mom of four. About 8 years ago, I lost 120 pounds, kept it off all of that time, pretty much, up and down maybe 10, 15 pounds, but pretty much kept it off, right? Until 6 months ago, when I had, some major losses. I had deaths in my family and things like that. And frankly, I gained 50 pounds back. And so now I'm doing I decided it's time to stop playing, right? I can't keep that weight on anymore. Gotta let it go. Gotta drop it along with the grief. So worked through the grief and now I'm working through the weight loss again. And the craziest part about this is prior to me gaining this weight, I've been a weight loss coach for about 6 years, right? After losing 120 pounds, I began helping other women and a few guys lose weight and keep it off for good. And the biggest thing that was a part of like my story and what I shared and what I taught was that you get to lose the weight and keep it off for good unless a couple of things happen. One of two things, basically. First one was you have a baby. You never know what your body's gonna do after when you have a baby, right? So there's that. The second thing was losses. When you lose people that are close to you, you never know how that's gonna affect you mentally, physically, all those things. I actually didn't think it was gonna affect me as much as it did. I lost 4 people, right? Very quickly over the last 6 months. And I was still exercising. I was still eating pretty okay. It wasn't crazy. And yet the weight kept coming on. And I'm like, what is happening? I realized it was stress related. When you're losing people, stress affects you. And that really affects the body as well in so many ways. So just a couple weeks ago, decided it's time to get back on it. Not just with my exercise and my eating, which I was already doing, but to move through that and really manage the stress. Understand what's happening in my body. What are my cortisol levels doing? How's my progesterone? How are my hormones? Because I'm a woman over 40, right? And so when you're over 40, there's all these things that you're working through. By the way, for those who are watching, this is how I put my hair when I'm working out. This is to keep up the silk press that I have underneath here. I found it on YouTube, a way to keep it up. So this is how I style my hair while I work out so that my hair goes back to straight afterwards. So anyways, a little tip. But yeah, so now that I'm back to losing the weight, I've been back here on YouTube since like January, posting weekly, going live as well. But I've already seen some progress within me, and I thought, let me share this with other people. So I decided to host one of my old school challenges, old school weight loss challenges. If you've been following me for a while, you know that back in like 2018, 2019, 2020, I used to host these awesome weight loss challenges where we'd have an amazing time. You get to win some money and you lose weight. People were losing up to 20 pounds in 4 weeks. So I was like, why not do one of those? Since I'm already doing the work anyway, even though I don't really coach weight loss anymore like that, you can still come with me on this journey and I'll provide meal plans, workouts, and guidance along the way. And literally share with you what I'm doing. So if it's something you want to do, if you're like, you know what, that's pretty cool, I do want to do this, then you can go to ilekafalette.com and you can sign up for this weight loss challenge. The way it's going to work is there's an entry fee, right? And a portion of each entry fee is going to a pot for cash prizes, right? So let's say $15 of each entry goes to the pot. So if 10 people join, which we already have 10 people who've joined, but let's say 10 people join, means the pot would be 15 times 10, which is $150. So therefore, the first place winner will get $100, right? So they got to lose weight and win money and have a good time doing it, because we have fun in my challenges. If you ever join one of my challenges, let us know in the comments, because they have been so much fun and so helpful to so many people. So that's kind of why I wanted to do it again, because I realized once I told people that I gained weight again, there were so many people like, oh, I'm struggling too. People were coming in my comments like they lost their dad, or, they lost their job, or something had happened that caused them to fall off completely when it came to their health. And so I was like, let's do this together. And let's make it competitive, but fun at the same time. Let's do it in the community. So that's what we're doing. So if you feel like, you know what, I want to get in this challenge. I want to be a part of this. I want to, get the tools to actually lose the weight, even especially for women over 35 who are like, I need to build my muscle mass. I need to tone. And I need to figure out why the hell this weight keeps staying on. If that's you, this challenge is for you. And it's time to like really take control of our own health and start moving forward. All right. So if you want to do it, you can go to ilekafalette.com and you'll see like the first line in there says 4-week weight loss challenge. Or if you go to reclaimyouretreats.com/weight loss challenge, you can hop on in. But we're doing this, right? Let me know what questions you guys have. You can ask questions about the weight loss challenge or questions about how I gained the 50 pounds in 6 months after losing 120 pounds 8 years ago and keeping it off all this time. It's wild because I also had skin removal surgery. So last year, almost to the day, it was May 11th, 2023. I actually had weight loss surgery. Not weight loss surgery. Why do I keep calling it that? I actually had skin removal surgery, right? I lost 120 pounds through exercise, keto, and like lifestyle changes and like shifting my mindset. But I had skin removal surgery last year because I was like, you know what? Though my stomach was pretty toned at the top, my arms were toned, didn't have a ton of loose skin, but what I did have was this pouch underneath, and that was from having a hernia repair and also having 4 kids via C-section. So the doctors, trainers, everybody was like, ain't nothing we can do about that. Like, you either got to get it cut off or live with the fact that this is who you are and what you got, right? And I was like, I'm going to get it cut off because honestly, after losing 120 pounds, I wanted to I got tired of tucking my stomach into whatever pants and stuff like that. I'm like, I done all this work, and I was like, and plus I wanted to make sure I got the skin removed after I knew that I could sustain the weight loss. And this is the funniest part because I got the skin removal, so excited, lived it up, right? Bikinis, just doing all the stuff, right? And then gained 50 pounds back, like starting, 5 months after I had the skin removal? End of October. It was almost like clockwork. October 30th, my aunt passed. And when that happened, and she was like, we were really close. She helped to raise all of us, right? And when that happened, it changed everything. And so I didn't feel like me anymore. It was like I lost myself for a while. I stopped posting here on YouTube. I wasn't really on Facebook or Instagram or anything anymore. And I actually started to, like, even my business stuff, because I do some consulting and stuff like that, I started to even pull away there. Like, things had really shifted and changed for me. And so I realized I had been struggling to try and find myself again, right? Because after that aunt passed, another aunt passed a month and a half or 2 months later. And then her son passed away 3 months after that. And then my uncle passed away a week later. So it was like really, really rough, right? And I was like, I've got to release all this grief and move forward and get back to me. And so I got a bunch of tests done because I was like, I shouldn't have gained this much weight. It doesn't make any sense. It's not like I was out here binge eating or doing anything overly crazy. How on earth did I gain 50 freaking pounds? And that's when we realized through tests and just through symptoms and things like that, that my hormones were all over the place. And much of it is caused by stress. Comment here if you found that within yourself. Like, you're like, what the heck is going on? I'm sticking to whatever eating diet plan or whatever you have. You're exercising, you're doing all the things that you know to do, and yet the weight is either continuing to come on or the weight is just staying, right? There's no change. Let me know if that's you. And if it is, this challenge that I'm doing, we're starting actually on Monday. So don't wait. Don't be like, oh, well, I'll think about it. No, get in the challenge. Like, the entry fee is a no-brainer, right? It's 4 weeks for $55. Like, if you break that down, that's like, what, $12 a week or something? $15 a week, let's say? And you can win money? Come on. Like, it's less than what you spend on McDonald's, or I don't know where people eat anymore, but you know what I'm saying? It's less than what you would spend on a meal, right? Cava or Chipotle. It's literally less than that. If you can't invest that amount in yourself, right? Where you can actually have a community, you have meal plans, workouts, and you can lose some weight and win some money and have some fun. So what's really cool is I used to do these challenges almost every month back in like 2018, 2019, and I think 2020. And the people who were in the challenges back then are still like friends today. Like, they still connect on social media. They still talk. They share experiences because we built a community, and many of them have kept the weight off. Some have gone through things similar to me here recently and picked up some weight, and actually many are rejoining the challenge because of that. COVID was rough. All those things were rough. For me, I was able to sustain most of COVID. But man, oh man, these last 6 months were rough. So I'm not playing these games anymore. I figured out what's going on in my body. I've already seen changes since just May 1st. And right now it's May 16th. It's my baby's birthday, the day I became a mom for the first time. But just 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, not even, 2.5 weeks later, I've already seen changes, right? That's huge. So, and that's what I'm sharing with folks. I'm sharing what I'm doing and guiding these folks, these ladies in the challenge through where they could be. So if you want to get in, go to ilekafalette.com and go ahead and sign up for the challenge. I wish I knew how to comment here on whatever this is, Instagram, but I can't figure out, if I'm being honest, I can't figure out how to do it. I've always tried to, and I have no clue how to do it on my phone. I can do it on the other thing, but go to ilekafalette.com, sign up for the challenge, and let's do this thing, right? Let's jumpstart it. Let's get it going instead of constantly this summer going places and feeling like, dang, how on earth did I let it get here? Because I've definitely been there before, and I'm not going to be there again. So we are on it. What questions do y'all have, though? I wanted to give folks a second, do a quick Q&A while I do this. Otherwise, I'm going to get on here and get back to watching It Is What It Is with Mason Cameron. So that's the show. I love that show. But yeah, get in the challenge. It starts on Monday. So all you do is pay the fee. You'll get all the information. You'll join the community group, and we'll get moving. You get a meal plan. You get workouts. I'll guide you through how to do the stuff, right? So it feels simple, because I was telling somebody the other day, I'm like, honestly, the reason I was able to lose 120 pounds in a year is because I figured out how to do it simply, right? How to do it without a lot of fuss, without a lot of extra stuff. I figured out how to do it where it didn't like break up my life. I'm a mom of 4, and at the time that I lost 120 pounds, I had like a really demanding career. I was senior director at a Fortune 100 company, and like work was tough, right? And I was very type A, still am kind of type A, but I was heavy type A then. So I'm doing all those things, And people were like, well, how did you lose this weight while living this lifestyle? Well, and not become a hermit, right? Because in that 1 year that I lost 120 pounds, I was still like going out with friends, going on trips, doing things. And I always tell folks, you got to be able to live your life and still live it in a healthy way, right? Still be healthy. If you lose weight because you got to stay at home and not be around people for the time that you lost weight, the moment you get around somebody, you're going to be acting a flying fool and gain your weight back, right? So, but if you get to create a lifestyle where you can actually go out with friends, you can eat out at restaurants, and you can cook at home, you can do these things and still live your life, still go on trips, vacations, all of that, still even have a glass of wine every so often. If you can do that and lose the weight, you can stick to that. And so that's what I would always teach people how to do, because when we try and go too crazy and too strict, it's not sustainable. And that's why you see people going up and down all the time. And what's so funny is that was never what I wanted. I never wanted to be the person to go up and down, up and down. So when I gained these 50 pounds back, I was like, what the F? Like literally, I remember saying to myself, like, I kind of wanted to hide. I was like, this is so not me, because it came so quick. It's not like the 50 pounds came throughout the 6 months. Literally, I gained the weight from October 30th through like the beginning of January, like January 5th or something. Like 40 pounds were gained then. And then in January, I started to lose some weight again, right? So I probably dropped about 15 pounds from January, beginning of January to like the end of February. And then, whoop, find out about my uncle and find out about my cousin. And the stress of all of it, it felt like it all came back. And boop, I gained those 15 pounds back plus another 10. So now up 50. Like that's how it went. So it was like, I literally gained the weight, most of the bulk of the weight in about 2 months' time. 40 pounds. That's wild. And that's my body, that's how much stress I was under, that my body picked up that much weight. It was so crazy. And I promise y'all, I'm not a binge eater, so I wasn't doing anything like that. But anyway, so when the weight came on, my body was just like, what the heck are you doing? And honestly, my mind was like, I'm embarrassed. I was embarrassed, I gotta say. I mean, losing all that weight, being so proud, sharing my journey. I was like, whoa, who am I? What is going on? I didn't feel like myself anymore. So it was super embarrassing. So I stopped showing up for a little bit. And I considered not telling anybody, just, hiding, right? And then I was like, that's not who I am. I'm not a hider. I'm somebody that's been really transparent here on YouTube for the last 7 years or 8 years or however long I've been on here. So I'm like, I need to continue to be transparent with it. Let me just share what I did. Let me share what happened, because that's life. We lose people, and sometimes it makes us gain weight. Sometimes it stresses us out beyond belief, right? Beyond anything we ever thought could happen. So anyways, that's where I was. That's what happened here. And so I wanted to share that. So if you feel like any of that, like this resonated with you and you're like, I need to jumpstart my health again, I need to get things back in order, the weight loss challenge is for you. It's 4 weeks. It's $55. That's it. And you can win, depending on how many people join, you can win a good amount of money, right? Like I said, 10 people join, $150 is in the cash pot for 3 winners, right? First place is 100, second place is 300, third place is 200. No, first place is 100, second place is 50, or is 30, third place is 20. If 100 people join, first place is $1,000. The second place is $300, and the third place is $200. Like, what do you have to lose? You could literally win anywhere between, you could literally win up to $1,000. That's game changing, right? Just to be on your own health journey, lose some weight, get started, jumpstart that summer weight loss, and really keep it off. Like, these are the types of tools that I teach, is how to keep it off for good. So if that's you, go ahead and hop into the challenge. You can go to the description of any of my videos where it says ilekafalette.com. Click on that. The first button you push is the weight loss challenge. And join, right? Just go right to it and join. Don't even play the games, because no point in waiting. All right. All right. I will talk to y'all soon. I'm going to get back to watching Mason Cam, and I hope everybody has a good night. All right. Take care.